Today, steadfastness, the quality that holds the thinker with the pattern through the period in which the physical world shows nothing. Because between the metaphysical pattern and its physical expression, there is a period, an invisible period, in which development is occurring, but nothing yet physically confirms it. And the thinker who cannot remain through this period removes development precisely when expression is nearest. Steadfastness is the quality that prevents this. This is the 7-Minute Daily Focus, day 150 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of pattern, steadfastness and pattern. Pause for a moment. 10 days in. Active thinking upon the pattern is understood. Today, steadfastness, the quality that holds the thinker with the pattern through the period in which the physical world shows nothing. Because between the metaphysical pattern and its physical expression, there is a period, an invisible period, in which development is occurring, but nothing yet physically confirms it. And the thinker who cannot remain through this period removes development precisely when expression is nearest. Steadfastness is the quality that prevents this. Pause. The invisible period is not a sign that the pattern is failing. It is the nature of metaphysical development. The tree does not appear from the seed in a single day. The root system establishes beneath the ground before a single visible sign emerges. Development occurs entirely within the invisible realm before it breaks through to the visible. And what is true for the seed of the tree is true for the metaphysical pattern. The development of the pattern occurs in the metaphysical realm from within, before any physical sign. And this invisible development can be lengthy. The thinker who understands this remains steady through the invisible period, because they know what the period means, not absence of development, the presence of development that has not yet expressed. Thought is within, effect is without, thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. What the five senses report during the invisible period is secondary reality, the current state of physical conditions, the expression of patterns already complete, not a report on the pattern developing within. The five senses have no access to the metaphysical pattern. They cannot tell the thinker how the development is proceeding. They can only report on what has already expressed, and what has already physically expressed is always the past. So the thinker who allows the five senses to govern their response to the invisible period is allowing the past to determine their confidence in the present. The past has no authority over the present, and secondary reality has no authority over primary reality. The pattern is developing, whether the five senses confirm it or not. Pause. Steadfastness is not the same as mere ignorance. It is not passive waiting. It is not detached hoping. Steadfastness is the active maintenance of thinking upon the pattern, through the period when conditions suggest the pattern is not developing. The steadfast thinker does not stop directing thinking upon the pattern when conditions speak. They continue, not because they are denying what the five senses report, but because they know the five senses cannot report on what is happening within, and within development is proceeding. The steadfast thinker acts from this knowledge consistently through every condition. Pause. The danger in the invisible period is this: the longer the period appears without visible sign, the greater the pressure the five senses apply. Conditions speak louder, secondary reality seems more immediate, and the thinker who responds to this pressure by withdrawing thinking from the pattern removes development at the precise point when it is most advanced, because development accumulates. Each day of active thinking upon the pattern builds upon the day before. And the point of greatest accumulation is always the point just before physical expression. The thinker who withdraws at this point surrenders the development that was nearest to completion. Steadfastness prevents this. Pause. The quality of steadfastness comes from knowing, not from willpower, not from forced persistence, from the knowing that the pattern is already complete, that development is already proceeding, that the invisible period is not empty, it is full of metaphysical development that the five senses cannot perceive. The thinker who knows this does not need the five senses to confirm what they already know. And from that knowing, steadfastness is not an act of will. It is the natural expression of a thinker who understands the law. Not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed, not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen. But steadfastness, focused. Remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Now the affirmation for day 150. Pause for a moment. I remain with the pattern through the invisible period. What the five senses do not yet confirm does not diminish what is developing within. The development of the pattern does not require physical confirmation to proceed. It requires my thinking, my return within, my sustained direction of active thinking upon what is already complete. I do not withdraw when conditions speak. I do not surrender what is most advanced. I remain steadfast, not from willpower, from knowing that the pattern is complete, that development is proceeding, that the invisible period is full. And because I remain through the invisible period, the development reaches completion. And when development is complete, it unfolds. And what unfolds must physically express, remember, by design, by focus.